Hello and welcome back to Heart of the Whole. It's been a while, but we are back again with another video today discussing the loan move for Danny Drinkwater to Aston Villa. Here we are, first one through the door. This one has been reported now for quite a few weeks. I think there's sort of been whisperings about Danny Drinkwater potentially coming in on loan. Obviously, with a lot of the talk being kind of negative from the sort of perspective of, well, he couldn't really get in the Burnley side ahead of Ashley Westwood, and if you're looking at the wages, he's on around 110 grand a week, which is reported, which is astronomical. But I think with players like this, I mean, when we signed Tyrone Mings, he was a relatively I don't want to say unknown quantity, but we didn't really know what we were going to get because he'd been injured for so long. He'd not played Premier League football for quite some time, and you know, this could potentially be the same thing with Danny Drinkwater. He's been out of favour with Chelsea. It was a really weird signing from him from Leicester to Chelsea. I guess it was to improve their sort of homegrown quota for Europe, signing an English player. I guess it kind of made sense. They'd already signed Kante, maybe signed Drinkwater. I hope you can get that sort of Leicester connection back. But I think, you know, people kind of turning their nose at Danny Drinkwater. I'd like to see what he can do before we kind of make our final decision on how he is as a player. It is a loan, so it's kind of risk-free, although we do only get one loan signing, I believe, from a Premier League club. So, you know, if you want to use it on Danny Drinkwater, that kind of rules out the option of Batshuayi, who's been linked. It seems he's going to Crystal Palace, though. Or, you know, someone maybe like Axel Tuanzebe. People on Twitter have talked about having him come back. Which would be interesting to see. Obviously, that kind of rules out with Drinkwater signing. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what Danny Drinkwater can do. You know, he's a Premier League winner. He's won the Premier League with Leicester, and he was a very good midfielder. Worked very well in a 2 with him and Kante, and he's played in the system with a 3 as well at Leicester. Obviously at Chelsea as well, when he's got his sort of limited game time, he's been familiar in that sort of 4-3-3 approach. And to be honest, it's a position where, despite having lots or a considerable amount of depth, there's not so much the quality there. I think when you're looking at the central midfield position, obviously John McGinn's injured, so that'll be the reason why this transfer has happened. But then you've got the likes of Conor Hourihane, Henry Lansbury, Douglas Luiz, Marvellous Nakamba, and of course Super Jack. Who kind of fit in that central midfield position. So even though I've kind of listed quite a few players there, you know, Hourihane has been hit and miss. You know, he's always scored a goal. It looked like he could really sort of, you know, stake a claim in the team. Then the next game, gone anonymous. Henry Lansbury can't really seem to keep his place in the team when he starts, and it's always kind of flirting between Marvellous and Douglas as to who plays. You know, varying on the system. Obviously, we've seen them play together in the 4-3-3 at Burnley, but then, you know, we go back to a 4-3-3, and we've seen them play together sometimes, but it's not really worked out with the two of them kind of playing as in a 3 just yet. I think Dino's still trying to find out what works and what doesn't. So, you know, Danny Drinkwater for cover, I think, you know, a decent signing. He's going to be someone who's coming in as well with a point to prove. You know, he's, as I said, we've touched on before, he's a Premier League winner, so he's not a mug, is he? I mean, you know, he's got his big move to Chelsea, and you know, you could potentially say, you know, you could question his sort of attitude, and I think this loan move will question that, see whether he really is serious about kick-starting his career. You know, back in the Premier League, because, you know, a successful 6-month spell here could either lead to a permanent transfer, or obviously for him, other clubs may go looking and think, oh, do you know what? There's a player in there. We can really get something out of him. And to be honest, out of all of the signings from the summer, and then when you're looking at, you know, the sort of the Suso players and who the player Smith wanted and stuff, this does seem like it is a very Dean Smith signing. You know, we've got an English midfielder who is proven in the game, a good passer of the ball, as we've seen, which, you know, is imperative. We kind of need someone who can carry the ball forward, and again, as we've touched on, Premier League experience, because a lot of Suso signings we made in the summer were made on the you know, on the approach of, you know, young, hungry players who will have hopefully a high resale value, you know, with lots of potential, and we're seeing that with some players. You know, we're seeing that with Douglas Luiz. Even the Nakamba to a certain extent, but, you know, there are some of the players where it may have not quite worked out. You know, maybe looking at a Jota, for example. Not that I really want to slander too many players on here, you know, but looking at some of the players, it just hasn't worked out. So, you know, getting into Premier League experience is going to be vital in this window. Obviously, we've been linked with many other players, you know, Olivier Giroud, Michy Batshuayi, even as recently today, Christian Piatic of AC Milan, who's a fantastic talent. It would be unreal if we signed him. But you know, with the signing of Danny Drinkwater on paper, I think I'm looking forward to see what he's got to offer. Unfortunately, he won't be able to feature against his former club Leicester, as he is cup tied, as he played for Burnley in the cup, I do believe, in the early stages. So we won't be seeing him for Leicester, which is a shame, because I feel like we do need a few fresh faces in the door. You know, before Thursday, hopefully we can see that a strike is needed, because I don't think Jonathan Kodjia can lead the line by himself. But it's going to be a busy January, despite, you know, things that were said in December. I think, you know, we've had a bit of a reality check now. We've seen what we need to address, and you know, we're going to be working within our parameters. Obviously, this is a loan deal, so you know, low cost, only paying the wages, so that, you know, won't really go towards too much of FFP, which is always a hot topic of being talked about, you know, with how much we spent in the summer as well. So I'm sure the recruitment will be very careful, you know, calculated and precise, and we're going to see some signings that are really going to you know, elevate Villa and make sure that we can keep ourselves in the Premier League. So if you enjoyed this video, comment your thoughts below and hit the like button and subscribe for more content. We'll have some more transfer videos coming out over the January as we get deals done, of course. So hopefully you guys will have that to look forward to, and comment your thoughts below what you think of the signing of Danny Drinkwater. I know it's a controversial one, but I'm trying to remain optimistic about this one. I know, you know, the Premier League experience, that's what I'm looking for. So it's an important January. We've really got to back the lads to the hill. We've got a semi-final coming up and some big games against Manchester City, Watford and stuff on the horizon. Really important games to try and make sure we can stay up in this division. So the lads need your support, and so do we. So comment, like, subscribe. Up to Villa.
Chester's essential. The ball filling this got potential. It's a main man, a hero. He's the main leader of the gang. Chester. Chester. He's the main leader of the gang now. Chester.